So how is everything?
All good, man. All good. Flat out, busy as normal. Like
Working on some new music.
Aye.
Perfect. Yeah, so obviously there's a lot going on at the moment. You've got the tour coming up, plenty to talk about. What I wanted to do though was go right back to the start. I mean, way before the band and everything. Kind of what were the TV themes and kind of movie themes that really kind of stuck in your mind or made an impact on you? Kind of growing up.
We were younger, like
Yeah.
But that whole Masters of the Universe album was pretty much that, wasn't it?
It was just our childhood. Like pretty much everything that went on that album was just stuff that we repped and loved when we were kids. Like as we were growing up, it was kind of that album was our childhood on disc, like
Thundercats and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I mean, just where did the idea come from then to start the band? I mean, how did that even come about, and what was the original ambition?
Boredom, to cure some boredom. That's where it started originally. It was just us, like on a Monday night we'd get together in a mate's studio and chuck a cover together and chuck it up on YouTube, you know.
Right. Okay.
And then people just seemed to catch on to it and enjoy it, and then lockdown really helped us a lot. That was kind of almost like our big break, if you like.
Okay.
Everyone was at home. Everyone was scrolling TikTok. Everyone was bored. No one could go out. Yeah. And we had the ability to work locally and track songs and put them together without actually being in the same room. So we managed to capitalize on everyone being home, and it worked out perfectly.
Okay, brilliant. I mean, assuming you guys knew each other before the band, at what point did you kind of start up?
Yeah, I mean, we a long time. Cobstead and Benj were in bands together previously.
Right.
And then we all kind of, met and stuff when we were like sort of 18, 19. Still playing in various bands at the time. And we just ended up coming together back in 2014 just because no one else was in a band anymore and we were a bit bored.
Right, okay. I mean, you talked about lockdown and it kind of working to your favor. What was the original plan? I mean, prior to lockdown, if anything, if that hadn't have happened that whole 2 years, what was the original plan?
Was there?
It was always just a bit of fun, wasn't it? We just we used to do it on a Monday, didn't we? We just kind of get in a room and do it. There was never any aspirations at all. It was just like, we threw it up on YouTube and Spotify because we knew how to, but we never expected this to work. And even when it started to work, we never thought that anyone would want to see this live. It was just something that we wanted to do. And whether people enjoyed it or not, we would have just continued doing it because we like doing it.
It's just fun. Like we just enjoyed doing it. Like I said, I mean, we all had other jobs at the time, and it was something that we could do of an evening for a bit of a laugh and hang out with the boys and chuck a track together. And it just turned out people loved it. Like lockdown was perfect. I mean, it was never calculated. It was never something that we thought, we could take advantage of this, but by being able to do stuff without being in the same room during that first lockdown, we just became a source of entertainment for so many people who were stuck at home, especially people with kids with the Disney stuff and everything.
Yeah.
It was the competition bands as well, because all these other bands, you realized how reliant people were on video makers, recording studios, management, all these different things. As soon as you took that out of the equation, these bands were knackered. They couldn't release anything, so the fans were sitting there waiting for something. Whereas because we're self-contained, we got the studio, we've got the skills to do it ourselves. Benj does the mixing, we do the videos, everything. Like we didn't need anybody else, so it just kind of really worked in our favor, didn't it?
Yeah, it was perfect, really.
Brilliant. I mean, your competition though during lockdown was Toya Wilcox. So I mean, was there any options you doing that in your kitchen, dancing to covers?
What was she doing during lockdown? I didn't see any of that.
You need to Google it then. Just go on YouTube and just Toya Wilcox YouTube videos.
Brilliant.
It'll it's possibly a missed opportunity, but I'm not going to go down that route.
Might steer clear of the dancing, to be honest. I don't think any of us have got very good moves.
No.
Possibly not the dancing, but it was more the outfits, I think. That's what grabbed everyone's attention. you talked about, I mean, you talked about lockdown though, and everyone it being a perfect opportunity for you guys. But then you came back, you played a gig at, you went straight into Bloodstock. What do you remember about that?
Everything.
Being terrified.
Yeah.
It was the first show we ever played as this band.
Yeah.
And our agent at the time got us on the bill, and which we only found out about 3 or 4 days before.
Yeah.
Well, he said that he might be able to get us on there, didn't he? So we kind of did. We did like we practiced 4 songs, but then it went quiet, so we just stopped practicing, and we thought, oh, never mind. And then it was 3 days before?
Well, we played the Thursday, and when we told like the Sunday evening or something.
So like 3 days before, they were like, yeah, you're playing. So we're like, oh shit, we better get back to practice. And they're like, and you're playing
for an hour. Yeah.
And we're like, what?
Oh,
We've been practicing 4 songs.
Not a bad challenge then. I mean,
Never left the 4 days.
Yeah, we
drilled it.
Yeah, we locked ourselves in the studio for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just drilled an hour's set, and so we got it right. And we ended up playing to 9,000 metalheads who absolutely loved it. And
no, you were the perfect band for that crowd. Absolutely.
Backstage, all shit. I was thinking, oh god, what's going to happen? We're going to get bottled. They're going to hate us.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't have been a better band. I mean, that crowd, for all the kind of seriousness and everything, I mean, you were kind of perfect for it.
Yeah, definitely turned out that way.
Yeah, I mean, for a first gig though, I mean, playing something like Bloodstock in front of 9,000 metalheads. I mean, you've released albums, you've done sold out gigs, festivals, you've worked with Elisa from Arch Enemy, and you've got a headline tour in October. It's not bad for a band that started in the studio just messing about because they were bored. I mean, what do you ever sit back and kind of look at that and think, how the hell did we get here?
All the time.
Every single day.
All the time. Whenever we're together, there's always a moment where we all kind of look at each other and give it, ain't it mad?
Job's mad.
I mean, what do you think you'd have been doing if you weren't doing this? I mean, you talked about having other jobs and stuff, but I mean, where do you think you've gone? Or
we've all had office jobs and stuff, and like a couple of us have done like session work and worked with other artists in studios and stuff. But
I was doing a lot of marketing for like labels and other bands and stuff, but I'm starting to get fed with it because bands are hard work.
Yeah.
It's all right when you're actually in the band, it's more fun, isn't it? But having to try and round up another band is hard work.
Yeah, I couldn't be doing with any of that, rather you than me. On that note though, you mentioned lockdown being a big break for you. I mean, that was a massive, kind of a weird stroke of luck, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quite grim to say.
Yeah,
but
we don't want to take don't want to take advantage of other people's misery, but the fact that an audience was there, and everyone was just, they couldn't do anything. So the only thing that people had was their phones and the TV and YouTube and TikTok. And
it's nice as well because we get so many people. The amount of people that have come up to us now and said, like, you helped me get through lockdown, and they genuinely mean it, that like they were in quite a bad place through lockdown, and seeing us bunch of dickheads prancing around doing covers really helped them through it, and that means a lot. But also it helped us as well, because
I was going to ask, does that kind of, can you flip that round, and did it help you get through lockdown, being able to, how did you stick around playing cover versions?
And like lockdown was hard for us, and this kind of took our minds off that as well.
And that's how we managed to land a lot of the guests that we had on the album as well. I mean, it wasn't just everyone in the world was locked down, like nobody could do anything. So we kind of reached out to Jarrett, and we spoke to a bunch of other people, and they were all sat at home bored doing nothing, and just to be off to jump on a track and have a bit of fun. Everyone was game,
Definitely. I mean, do you think that's, I mean, something you touched on earlier was about bands kind of going into lockdown and essentially losing everything, like, all the tools and everything they had, the gigs, the ability to make music. Do you think the fact that you were kind of embraced by TikTok and YouTube and all that kind of thing, do you think that's given you an advantage going forward over other bands?
Absolutely. I mean, the amount of people and the amount of other bands that we see and speak to that say that, or whenever they go on socials, or we're the first thing that people see. Like, we've kind of forged our way now on the social side of things, so that we've got over 250,000 followers on Instagram, and
like 640.
640,000 on TikTok and stuff. So, you know, I mean, that's we owe a lot to the socials, you know, and that's always our big focus.
Perfect. I mean, in terms of focus, then, I mean, obviously, like we talked about Bloodstock and how you were, you know, in my opinion, you were perfect for that crowd. Outside that kind of the UK, I mean, have you thought about Europe and the US, and do you think they'll get it? I know you've worked with like Jarrett and people like that, but do you think your kind of general audience in America will get it in the same way that the kind of Brits get it?
We had a tour booked for America last year, which we had to postpone, unfortunately. There was a delay with visas. So they weren't going to come in time, which means we had to pull the tour. We've done festivals in Europe. We've done a festival run this year.
Right, okay.
European. We did a German tour last year.
What was that like?
Oh, amazing! German crowds are unbelievable. They're so good.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I mean, you talked about Bloodstock and being terrified, but I mean, could you imagine yourselves playing a festival like Wacken or something like that, where it is proper?
I'm right. Wacken is the goal.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. We got a UK tour now, October, November. Then we've got the European tour, then November, December. But before that, we're doing a Australian tour now in September. So yeah, we got a lot coming up.
We are working on the redoing the American tour, because our biggest audience is actually America. Okay. They were the ones that kind of latched onto it before the UK, really. Right. So we are really to go over there, but as you can imagine, it's quite difficult and really expensive to tour America. Yeah. And being self-funded and self-contained, it is a big ask, really. But yeah, it's actually in the pipeline again now.
Yeah. I mean, just going back. I mean, going back to the whole TikTok, YouTube thing. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that came out of lockdown that, like you said, people were at home and bored and didn't have all they had with the phones and YouTube. Was there any concern that once you came out of that and kind of went back to real life that you'd kind of be forgotten about?
Yeah, absolutely. We worry about that every single day. We put up a video on TikTok one day and it'll get 250,000 views, and then the next day we put one up and it gets 3.
Right. Yeah.
Like we constantly worry and analyze that.
Yeah.
Like, is it the song? Is it the way we've shot the video? Is it the audio? Are we doing something wrong on this video that we didn't do on this video? And yeah, like we're constantly trying to up the game and chase the numbers, you know.
Definitely. I mean, the tour in October is selling, so I mean, people are still, you know, there's still a massive interest in the band.
Every time we put our tour on sale, we brick ourselves that it's not going to happen. But this is the 3rd time we've done a tour now, and each time we've at least doubled the amount of capacity in the venue, and we've sold out every time. Brilliant. The bands that are getting front page in Kerrang aren't doing that. Like we're so humble and we're blown away, but like you can't ignore these numbers, can you?
No, absolutely. That's what it is really. At the end of the day, it's numbers. You know, it's bums on seats, isn't it? Really, or YouTube views or whatever. I mean, how does that make you feel compared to like you said, some of the bands that go on the front of Kerrang are, you know, not getting the same numbers? I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, we love it. We love the fact that we're doing what we're doing, and we're having the success that we are. And it is frustrating from certain sides with like press and stuff like that maybe don't take us seriously because we're a covers band.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we are a lot of people's dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to sort of press. Like, you know, we know the press love us, and we've had interviews with Kerrang and stuff, but we've never had that kind of big press article or anything.
No,
really,
but it definitely feels like as soon as one decent thing happens, they're all going to go, oh yeah, I've known them for years. Yeah, because you speak to these people, and the amount of people, it's like, oh yeah, of course I know you all the time and everything, and you can't deny the you that we're doing, and it's not as if we're being lazy and we're just doing covers. We're working harder than all these other bands. 100%. Like our tickets are selling because we're marketing the tour every day. We're in the studio with new music. Like we do this stuff because we love it, and so what if we're not doing originals? Like, we're having fun.
Well, that's what it's about at the end of the day, isn't it? You want to go to a show and have fun. One thing I wanted to kind of ask you about, I mean, you did the Little Mermaid covers recently. Now, just going forward, I just kind of wondered what your thoughts were on the remaking a lot of the kind of Disney movies, but they're kind of changing parts of the stories to fit in with modern society. I just kind of wondered what your thoughts were on that. I mean, you've got Snow White in the remaking Snow White for 2024. I think was kind of one of the ones. Just kind of wondered what your thoughts were on that. Is it a good thing, bad thing?
Kind of the way of the world now, isn't it? Everyone's got to be careful what they say, and I mean, it doesn't affect us, does it? No. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah, we're happy just staying on a lane, really. I think a lot of the people that would take issue with that kind of stuff, it's just like, do you want a hobby? Do you want something else to do? Like, we're just upsetting somebody. Like, it's change it.
But let's be honest, you can't please everyone, can you?
So, no, absolutely. But I mean, on that note, though, if you could play any character in a Disney film, who do you think you would be most suited to, and why?
Timon and Pumbaa.
I think we could. I think we can pull that off. To be fair, that'd be great.
Hakuna Matata.
I think that's. I don't know where to follow that. All I'll say is, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys when you come to Leeds on the tour. So I'm hoping we can carry this on. Just to wrap up, then, I mean, we're halfway through 2023 now. I mean, could you just tell us why you think the world needs Punk Rock Factory at the moment?
The world always needs Punk Rock Factory. Like, we're fun, we're entertaining,
and the world's just annoyed and a bit. The world needs a bit of fun and pink, don't they? At the moment, it's just like, come on, cheer up, come to a show and sing Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stop taking life so seriously. Come and have a laugh, because our shows, like, without blowing our own trumpets, we sound great and we play great, but everyone always says the same thing coming away from our shows, and they came away and they had a wicked night and they had a wicked laugh.
Perfect. I think that's a great way to end. I mean, just to wrap up, then, we've talked about 2023. You've got the tour and everything. 2024 and beyond, what's the ambition?
Space. Playing on Mars.
Playing on the moon, yeah.
No, we got stuff in the pipeline now for 24. Potential tours and festivals and stuff. So we're waiting to get things confirmed and booked and announced now.
Yeah, just keep releasing music. Keep tickets on sale. Just keep doing what we do. Just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
We're having fun. Everyone seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah. Don't change your recipe a minute.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well, thanks for your time, guys.
Nice one, mate. Thanks, mate.
Ta-da.
See you then.